Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the VP Concepts YouTube channel. In this video, we are doing something that is spectacularly become one of my favorite things to do, and that is listen to headphones, test headphones. I'm just really enjoying this side of the hobby as an audiophile. And to be honest with you guys, I had a little injury on my knee, tore my meniscus, and I was going to review iFi's new $300 optical isolator for network, but I am going to do that next month because right now getting down and installing stuff on my knees isn't happening. It's hard to bend my knee right now. So I actually, by coincidence, was watching a video on the SIVGA Nightingale IEM and how much people like that for the price point. And I'm sitting there going, wait a minute, that sounds familiar, SIVGA, that name, that brand. So I looked at my emails and realized that they had reached out to me a few months ago to review some of their on-ear headphones or over-the-ear headphones instead of IEMs. And I just, filed it away. But I went ahead and reached out and let them know that I'd be interested. And they sent me one of their higher-end headphones. They're $500. They're an open back planar magnetic, and as you guys some of you who follow me, you know that as far as my headphones are concerned, I already have a planar magnetic headphone that is the Audiophile LCD XCs with the carbon fiber headband upgrade and my $4,000 Kimber cable, Axios cable, and I also have my Sennheisers over here. And then my most recent addition was my Focals, which I actually was listening to earlier. The Stellias. So I realized that I had a closed back dynamic in these, the open back dynamic in the Sennheisers, and a closed back planar magnetic, but no open back planar magnetic. So this actually fills that role. So I wanted to, they sent this out to me, guys, for an honest review at no cost. I'll be transparent with you. This is something I've never really done too much on my channel, hardly at all. Yeah, but if I'm going to keep something, then I review it. So if you guys are seeing this video, it means it passed my scrutiny, and I think it's worth reviewing, and that's where we're at. So I am trying to expand a little bit on what I review or bring in the house so that I can keep doing these videos for you guys because I love doing it so much. So with that, we're going to do an unboxing here and check these out because they literally just came in the mail. I've done this in a few of my past videos where I come back inside and there's a box sitting on my front door or in my UPS parcel. And here we go. So SIVGA, the P2 Pro open back planar magnetic headphones. Literally, dude, like seriously, there's created with craftsman spirit. So there you go. Now we're going to look at the driver, planar magnetic. Impedance is 32 ohm. That's not bad. My Audizies are 20 ohm. Frequency response 20 to 40. Sensitivity is 98 dB plus 3. That's not bad. And there's all the information literally coming right from China, guys. So yeah, let's see what these babies look like, because honestly, I've not seen them in person yet, and I'm very curious as to what these look like. So let me open these, and we'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing we've gotten here, which is, wow, really surprising. I mean, this has got to be as high-end as anything I've received before, if not nicer. This is a beautiful, gorgeous carrying case. I mean, frick, this is really nice. I don't know if it's real leather. I don't know if it smells like real leather or not, but it looks like leather. It feels like leather. Brass feet, gold zipper. I mean, wow. I am blown away at the materials on this. So this is a good start, guys. So I'm going to unzip this and see what's inside. And just like that, the zipper is off and these are inside. So these are well, they're pretty sexy. You have a metal grill. You have, looks like genuine wood sides. This is looks like an egg protein right away. egg protein with some cloth. I have never seen this design before. Look at that, right and left. So this is very interesting. This is kind of like your standard pads you see with the metal, then the leather pad underneath it. So that looks like that'll be pretty comfortable with the pads there. 3.5 connectors. Let's see what kind of cord they give us. See if we can open this up with one hand. There we go. Looks like we have no slots are there to keep the pad, but so here's an adapter right here. Looks like 1/4 inch to 3.5. It's a nice braided cable. That's very nice. And you have a nice braided cable here. Yeah, that's really good looking. That's really nice. It looks like kind of like an IM cable, right? That reminds me very much of an IM cable. And I believe, hopefully, this is going to be a balanced connection. Let's see, let me grab it out of here. Yeah, that looks like it's a 4.4. So it looks like it's a 4.4 here, and then you have your adapter here it's for a 1/4 inch. And then you have this for 3.5. So it's going to give you every kind of connector. I think that's pretty awesome that it comes with a balanced connector, because I spent a lot of money to convert all of my headphones to a balanced connector so I can use them with my portables and then convert them into the 1/4 inch on my Macintosh and PS Audio gear over there, stuff like that. All right, guys, so that's the unboxing. Beautiful case, all the adapters, very good looking, but how do they sound, right? That's 99% of what we want. So, and how comfortable are they? So I'm gonna break these babies in and give you my feedback. Okay, guys, so we're back, and I've put about 3 weeks on these things. They took a lot of burn-in time. I'd say I put about 216 hours on them to really get them to get the clarity that I was looking for, and they came through for me. I'm pretty impressed with these. You know, I mentioned before when we unboxed them that these are real wood. This is a red oak, I believe they call it. It is solid wood. This, I believe, is kid, which is a baby goat skin, not egg protein. And it's like a, I don't know, velvety feeling. But, you know, aesthetic-wise, I really like them. One thing I would change personally is we don't need the big R and the L sticking in the inside of the cups, because when you hold these things a certain way, let me see if I can get these for you. See that indentation? There's an indentation there. They don't line up. That's the rear facing you. So you don't need a left or right. You just flip them that way. If you got them this way, or they come together all the way, that's the front. If you hold them this way, there's a little dimple in there that really shows that that is the rear. So you don't need a left and a right. So aesthetic wise, I don't really care for the gray and the big R and the L in the inside. I would have liked to see just a black leather pad, but I mean, that's nitpicking, right? I'm trying to find something to criticize here, but aesthetics, the build quality, the real wood, the beautiful pewter metal, the adjustable headband, these things are very, very comfortable. And I had no issue at all wearing them for hours at a time. This cable, I'm going to review this with this factory cable. As you guys know, all of my headphones, including my IEMs even, have the Kimber Axios cables because it just upgrades so much. These are good enough, more than good enough for me to probably upgrade the cable as well. So I may update you guys in the future on the sound of these with the upgraded cable. But the fact that this hangs with these three with the upgraded cable, I'm very happy. And I'm going to explain a few things of you know, the sound and my impressions of a $445 Planar magnetic headphone. Okay, so I'm going to come over here with you guys. I actually have an update. My PS Audio preamp the week before Christmas, my gain cell DAC went out with an issue on the right channel crackling. I called them immediately, returned it. They fixed it under warranty. Incredible, even though it's out of warranty. They said that it was the chipsets on the output stage, on the analog output stage. They replaced the 2 chips, and I had a faint buzzing when I would use a 4.4 to 1/4 inch adapter before on the headphone, and now it's completely black. No humming or anything. So that was definitely a nice of PS Audio to knock that out. I mean, they had it back to me in a week. They were incredible, especially considering it was a holiday. Also, I upgraded my computer, guys. I'm actually burning in my music collection again. There's my CDs over here, and all these already got done over here, burning them back into to the Apple Music. iTunes isn't supported anymore. But I got a 2020 MacBook Pro instead of my old 2012. The sound improvement, oh my God. It was like going to a new CD player, right? From a $2,000 CD player to a $5,000 CD player. The upgrade in audio quality was phenomenal. So instead of doing an airdrop from my old computer into this one with the music, I decided to re-burn everything in because I don't know if it's the hard drive or the isolation between the 2012 and the 2020, as far as power supplies and stuff, the isolation internally, but it was a huge upgrade. So I tested these on my, burning in this music and everything. It was a great opportunity to listen to these as I was burning in my music again with the upgraded quality. On the PS Audio is a Class A headphone amplifier, and it is a little bit on the darker, richer side, not as much on the airy, open side with a lot of headphones, and this was no different. And I'll explain the differences here. I also tested it on my Macintosh. I also tested it on my tube headphone amp, and I also played it using my HipDAC 3, my Go Blue, and just for the fun of it, since I had the adapter, my old Dragonfly Cobalt to see how these would push on a, what is this, 175 milliamp? It's a lot lower than these two. So I really wanted to give an overall perspective on any kind of portable or larger setup, between the two systems I have, and really evaluate this fairly using everything I could, especially considering I don't have the upgraded cable to, compare it to like I do on my other ones. So here we go, $445, guys. I'm going to talk about what it does good first, because I think it's important to share the optimism I have in this thing for this price point. So the one thing that it does over all of these is sound stage depth and width. Now, you may say, well, that's not saying much because we have a closed back and a closed back, but these actually perform very well. Matter of fact, better than my old Sennheiser HD 600s. These have probably the most closed in space, even though it's an open back. This would be second as far as openness, and this is third. So this is first, all right? So first, second, third, and last actually is how that would work. So this having a wider soundstage depth, I'm telling you guys, it's really, really good. The sense of an open room around you and the way that everything is set in its space, there's so much dimension going on with these headphones that I do not get with these. So that is the one probably grabber that would make you want these, is just the soundstage. And I'm getting that with the HipDAC, with the Go Blue, and even with this little guy, the old Cobalt. So kudos to the developers who really gave this thing the sense of space, because it's shockingly good, and why I want to keep these. Okay, as far as treble is not it's not high level. Okay, I'll just be honest with you, compared to when you're getting into a $3,000 Focal, $1,500 Odysseys. Okay, and it's not as sweet as the Sennheisers. It's there. And it's more in the mid treble, lower treble, where it likes to sit, and which is fine. It's never fatiguing ever. I would call these on the darker side, warmer side. I decided to look up just online what some other reviewers were saying about it, and they were saying that it was bright, and I'm shocked because I'm pretty sensitive to treble, and never were these ever, bitey or even open and airy. They were just, more on the I wouldn't say splashy, but they're definitely in the lower end on the treble, okay? But never offensive, and I'll explain why that is. So the treble's fine, it sounds great, it's where it's supposed to be, it's just not exemplary. So we go into the bass, and again, another big selling point of these for the price point, and I was shocked. With the focals, more so with the Odysseys, and especially with the Sennheisers, you really have to crank up the volume to pressurize the headphone to really pump out the bass that you want to hear. And that's not the case with these. These things really bump. And it makes me listening to my deep house sit for 2-3 hours on the couch and just smile ear to ear because these things bump so hard. They're not subterranean like the Odysseys. The Odysseys are the winners of these three when it comes to deep bass. I did upgrade to the Deconi pads on my Odysseys, so that does help a lot. But like you can hear sub deep trunk bass, like in high school bumping your kicker 12s, right? This is like a pair of 10s. This is like an 8. Okay, these are like, this is like a 12 in a bandpass box. Okay, so it's not going to go super deep, but the SPL, the amount of bass it puts out, and it's not bad at all. It's quick, it's fast, it keeps up with the music. It doesn't bloat or take over the music, but it is on the bass heavy side. And I really like that warmth and that energy especially when I'm using a lower output device. It just really has amazing bass. So 2 pluses, the bass is phenomenal, very musical, very warm, very full, very enjoyable, pulls you in. And the soundstage depth and width is incredible, okay? The treble, again, is fine, just not reference. So the mid-range, okay? And here is where we have good and maybe bad. Again, I'm trying to be critical here because I want to be honest with you guys. Okay, the mid-range is natural. Not as natural as the Sennheisers. Sennheiser has the best mid-range I've ever heard to date. When you hear a guitar or a pluck of a string or a violin, it brings tears to your eyes. It's so romantic sounding and natural, especially female vocals. The Odysseys are less so, definitely. The mid-range, I think they lack in for naturalness. And the focals are like listening to a tube amplifier. They're very euphoric and very nice. And they present music in a completely different way as these two. There's just gobs and layers of music and everything like that. But I would even say still the Sennheiser has the better mid-range of them all for naturalness. So this beats the Odyssey for sounding natural, okay? But when it comes to tonal colors, picture taking the saturation on your television and turning it up, right, to where those colors really are vibrant and rich and full. This isn't doing that per se, okay? The female vocals sound natural though, so tone and timbre's there. It just has a bit of, I guess probably due to the spaciousness of the soundstage, the outlines of instruments aren't as pronounced, and the fullness and plumpness of the instrument isn't quite there. It's a little more on the black and white side of things. Again, natural and sounds nice, but when you go from this to this, or even this, or even especially this, it doesn't beat these in the mid-range as far as fleshing out those tonal colors, okay? But that's really, again, going from $1,500 and $3,000, and the Sennheisers, everybody knows these are the champions. So I'm putting it up against stiff competition, but by itself, taking it out and listening to it, you won't think, oh, I'm lacking. But you will notice, like when I played on my Macintosh or my PS Audio, sometimes the outlines of instruments, it's a little more of a diffuse experience. And what that does as a positive is everything on this thing sounds good. I threw metal at it, Ozzy, and I played Coldplay, and I played jazz and smooth jazz and deep house, trance, melodic trance. And never did I go, ow, that bit me, or man, that's stringent, or man, that song wasn't recorded right. The compromise to that inner detail and micro details is that you're going to get no offensive recordings through this, and that is extremely impressive. Now, where the Focal makes everything sound good, everything sound good, on a bad recording, it will let you know. This seems to cover those warts. And again, the way that the mid-range presents things, it's so relaxed and natural, and everything just has its space. And even though it's not as saturated as this, what it does work with makes you go, oh my God, I've never heard it sound that way. That piano, the key, the way it's floating, it's not doing that over here. The way I'm hearing the backup singers behind the main singer, it's not doing that here. They're more over his shoulder instead of behind him. So this has an incredible presentation. And again, playing it on the Hip Deck 3, I preferred this over everything through my iPhone. And this was second. I actually liked, somehow, for some reason, the i5's presentation. I preferred that even over the Macintosh and the PS Audio, which I was really, really freaking surprised. But what these devices do is I think they have more layering and detail, a little bit sharper presentation, which really brings out more detail in these and outlines the instruments better. Where the Macintosh and the PS Audio, although they fill it out, it's fuller obviously with the more amperage going through it, it tends to make it really laid back sounding. And I preferred the detail that these brought out in this. And I also use this on the computer, and I preferred it actually on my iPhone over the computer, which is really shocking too. So the point is, this thing sounds good on everything. I really didn't prefer it as much on my headphone amp. It sounded fine, but I actually liked the way the bass sounded better. It had more control on my Macintosh when I A-beat it over there on the big rig. So treble is probably what its least strong suit is, although it's enjoyable and never offensive, and it's still there. It's just not super airy and extended like on my other headphones. The mid-range is natural. Not the tonal colors aren't as rich as on my other headphones. It has the best bass of the three, and you don't have to really put it out to max volume to get that. I'd still say that the Focal has the more accurate and overall best bass. This has the deepest. This is lacking the most, but this gives you such an enjoyable foundation to listen to with bass. And also because it's a little bit more laid back sometimes, and with those outlines of instruments, having that bass kind of pulls you back in, right? Really close, pulls you back into the music and makes it exciting again. So you're really not losing out. Okay, so that's my review for $445. They're incredible. I'm keeping them. They're so enjoyable, especially if you're going portable. The fact that they can really bump off of these two devices is shocking to me. But when you're working at 20 ohms, 35 ohms, I can kind of see why, even though it's a planar and sometimes those are harder to drive. It's a very, very good starter headphone for someone who wants a planar magnetic that's comfortable, pretty lightweight compared to those guys. Never gave me fatigue on my head or on my ears or on my jawline, never hurt. Sounds good with every genre and has bass and soundstage width and depth that are shockingly good for $445. Okay guys, and there you go. That's the SIVGA P2 Pro planar magnetic headphones. I will put a link in the item description with more technical specifications, like they do use a sapphire coating. I'm not sure if it's a PVD, physical vapor deposition, but they do use a coating over the driver, stuff like that. So for more details, you can check that out. And next month, I will be reviewing the iFi optical isolator for network, see if we can get Tidal to sound better in the house when we stream it. Okay, and with that, let's do our traditional view out the window. Say hi to our bonsai tree and kokedama plant. They're growing big since we moved from Seattle. And they love the music in here too. And let's see what's going on out there. Let's see, we do have a bird. Again, it's not the $1 million view in Seattle, but I like this just as much. We're next to the ocean. We've got palm trees and birds, and the ocean is a walk away, and I'm loving life. So we'll catch you on the next video, guys. Thanks so much for listening and watching. Until next time, bye-bye.